Many people feel helpless and think they do not have the power to make their own dreams come true. Even the smallest acts can trigger hundreds or even thousands of chain reactions and therefore influence or fundamentally change our own future or the future of others. How diverse and plentiful these consequences may be in the retrospect can be seen if you ask yourself questions such as what would have happened if. For example, if you look back at the history of mankind through observing nature, our ancestors in the Stone Age evidently discovered how to make fire, or that wild plants can be domesticated in order to increase the food security, which had consequences for the whole humanity. Something our primitive ancestors probably could not have imagined even in their wildest fantasies. Would the story have been different if the steam engine had not begun its triumphal march in the 18th century, but in ancient Egypt? In fact, there is some evidence to suggest that Egyptian engineers and mathematicians had discovered the operating principle of steam engine, but just did not know how to use it. Could the Industrial Revolution really have begun 2000 years earlier? Of course, when we look at the past, we cannot change anything, and no one can say with any certainty what would have happened if things had been different. But this view of past helps us understand what huge potential there is in small changes, small inventions, and especially small actions. Although we cannot change the past, the future is still unwritten, and a man who topples just one domino in his life can expect to move mountains. As elsewhere, the butterfly effect is evident once again, because even the smallest of actions can sometimes have major consequences. In an atomic bomb, the initial trigger in comparison to the actual explosion is minimal. Even within the atomic bomb, a chain reaction occurs that eventually leads to a nuclear explosion. Thus, this small initial trigger ensures devastating consequences. Often, only the direct damage of a nuclear explosion is seen as a consequence, but the area is contaminated for thousands of years. Humans and animals fall ill. Land is depopulated, politics change, and the explosion has effects on the economy and the culture of the country concerned, all because of small initial spark that triggered a domino effect, that is, a nuclear explosion. A small chain reaction can also be observed in electricity generation, one of the most peaceful uses of nuclear energy. During the fission, an atom is split into several smaller particles. The released neutron contribute to the splitting of other atoms, which in turn release neutrons. The process is repeated countless times, although only a single atom was split at the beginning. When coal is added to the boiler, water is heated. This produces vapor, which in turn drives the piston, and hence engine under high pressure. The consequences of this single shoveling coal, therefore, is that goods and passengers can be transported from A to B, getting people in time to their jobs and to feed their families, so that the station retailers can also make the profit, companies can export their products, and much more. All because of small piece of coal that was compressed and thrown into boiler or steam locomotive. A chain reaction can turn into snowball effect in some cases. In this case, the effect increases with each subsequent action or reaction. Thus, mighty hills can form from the tiniest speck of dust. People who deal with social media are especially aware of so-called viral effect. An interesting single picture or a video that you have just sent to your friend can be viewed several times more on the internet the next day, as it is distributed to wider networks of viewers, reaching vast audience within a short time, and perhaps even conventional print media follows the trend and publishes the picture. Another effect which is clearly related to butterfly effect is the ripple effect. Throwing a stone into water produces waves or ripples which spread out in all directions. It is impossible to throw a stone or any object in water without producing this effect. The ripples spread to the shore, go out again from the shore, or overlap with other waves. But there is an infinite process even if the wave may eventually no longer appear visible to the eye or seem to disappear within other wave motion. By all this, what I'm trying to show you is the importance of small and consistent actions when it comes to success. These small actions have very huge potential and can change your life completely. So just keep working and eventually you'll reach your destination.
It's a great day, I'm feeling good. Oh, the possibilities of what I could, do with the world at my fingertips. My imagination brings a smile up to my lips.